Church here, and welcome to the Game Grinder. And today we are doing an unboxing video, and I am so excited for this one. I've been waiting for this for quite some time. I will just jump right to this. As you can see the title, this is, again, I guess we got a thing going with collector's editions that everybody's trying to make the largest collector's edition there is. So this one's a beast. I'll try to show this the best I can. And this is the Walking Dead, the Telltale games Walking Dead Definitive Series Guardian Pack. Now this is a collector's edition that was offered by Skybound after pretty much everything went down with Telltale Games. Telltale went under, Skybound stepped in to basically finish the game, and yeah, they did this Definitive Edition collector's edition. There's a couple different tiers of this. I kind of went with more of the mid-tier, but this was not necessarily the cheapest collector's edition, but this is one of my favorite game series of all time, and I would have loved to have something else to represent this game in my collection. So here we are, and I guess we'll just kind of jump to it. So actually there was a pretty significant delay on this being shipped. So what they did was back in October, I believe, or it might have been September, they announced that this was going to be delayed for some time because there are some manufacturing issues or whatnot. But they actually did send out the copies of the Definitive Edition for the game for everybody who bought this, which is pretty cool. I would say if you don't have the Definitive Edition, if you haven't played The Walking Dead, this is an amazing collection. Like, this is probably second to the Orange Box with one of my favorite game compilations ever, because you put all 4 seasons of The Walking Dead on here along with 500 Days and Michonne, and this is an amazing, absolutely amazing package. These games are incredible. I've talked about The Walking Dead before. If you don't really know much about The Walking Dead, or the Telltale games Walking Dead, basically they're a take on kind of the point-and-click adventure genre, where it's not like intense on the gameplay. It's a lot of dialogue choices that really matter throughout the gameplay. Like, dialogue choices carry on throughout the different seasons of the games, throughout the different games, kind of like what you might experience in Mass Effect. And these are majorly important. This game is done so well. The characters are amazing. Starts off with Lee and Clementine and kind of goes through to the end. It's a very powerful game. One of the few times games actually made me choke up. Joy, sadness, anger, horror, it's all there. It's a complete package. Telltale Games The Walking Dead is so good. Definitely play it. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out the Guardian Pack then. This is an absolute massive box, but I like what they got going on here. There's a good representation of Clementine throughout the series. On the top it just says The Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Series, and the back is basically just more of that. So let's go ahead and crack this open and see what we got. There's a lot to cover here, so we'll just kind of go through it. First thing here is a thank you card that's actually signed by the developers. It says, "To those who cried when Clementine was lost and wept when she was found, to those there since the very start and those that just joined us, thank you for taking the journey. Without you, without everyone it took us to get here, we'd have never ended up safe and sound." So that's pretty cool. Then next up here we got the, looks like the pins. So, sorry, pins, interestingly packaged. It's not, everything's not just like thrown in, like it's kind of slotted and laid out pretty well. But anyways, we got a couple pins here, so let's go ahead and open this up. And what do we got? We got a Clementine pin, we got a Lee pin, and we got the dog Rosie, so that's pretty cool. And then next up here we got another little box. I believe this has, I'm not sure what this has. Oh, okay, this is the, I forget what these are called. These are kind of like the Russian doll things within a doll. So we got Clementine, and then there's another Clementine, and it looks like it's just Clementine through the different years. And then next up is the Disco Broccoli. This is a kind of reoccurring character. It's a toy. One of the main characters later in the series has this toy and really likes it. This is a plushie, so that's pretty neat. All right, and then next up here is something that's pretty cool. We got a hat, and this is actually a recreation of Kenny's hat, one of the characters from the earlier seasons of Telltale's The Walking Dead. Would have been cool to maybe have Clementine's hat, but hey, I'm not complaining. That's pretty cool. And then next up is a t-shirt from later in the series. This is Erickson's School for Troubled Youth. This is one of the main location in the 4th season of Telltale Games The Walking Dead, so that's pretty neat. And then we have a pretty sweet poster here. This looks like it was done by the actual artists for the comic series, so excuse me that I don't know what their name is, but The Walking Dead, the Telltale series. There we got Clementine and AJ and a dead walker, so that is pretty neat. This is something I will definitely consider putting up. I don't put a lot of posters up from games, but this one's pretty special to me. Oh, and looks like we lost a pin that fell out of the little pin holder there, but it is a barbed wire baseball bat, which is interesting because this actually isn't from the games. I think that's from the TV show, but I'm not complaining. Extra pin. And then finally, the main thing for this collector's edition, the entire reason why I purchased this, comes in this very suspicious looking box. So let's go ahead and open this box up. Oh no, assembly required. All right, it was pretty simple to put together, and let's go ahead and check this out. So this is the Lee and Clementine statue. This appears to be made of a plaster, a harder substance. They kind of seem like it could be a little fragile. His arm was actually broken, so I went ahead and just reattached that. I'm not terribly upset because it was easy enough to fix. I'm fine with using a little bit of glue, but that is the statue. It's pretty heavy. They actually, Lee and Clementine both have magnetic bases, so they just basically magnetically stick on, and I absolutely love this statue. Now if I can just get her back on without damaging it, that would be nice. Yeah, so I am pretty happy with this. Again, like I said, I've really wanted to have a statue or a figure, especially of Lee and Clementine, even though I'm going to avoid spoilers talking about the characters, but yeah, this is great. I love this. Yes, that is the Telltale Games The Walking Dead Definitive Series Guardian Pack. It's a mouthful, but again, I am so excited for this. This is one of my favorite collector's editions of all the things that I have, just because this is one of my favorite game series. I love it. And yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on this collector's edition. By any chance, did anybody else manage to get this? Is there anybody else out there that actually played through the entire series, more than just maybe the 1st and 2nd seasons? And do you have intentions to play it? I think now is the best time, especially with the definitive edition being on a single disc, or you can actually, I believe you can just buy like digitally the definitive edition as well. And I would definitely recommend it. Just take my word for it. This game series is amazing. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this collector's edition? And that will do it for this video. Then as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you next time on the Game Grinder.